Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Saturday night live stream. As you can tell, I've thrown this very much together at the last minute, plugged in my computer, turned on the monitor, and I realised that because of the lighting, I think the light in here, it has a yellow tint to it, and the light that's in front of me is white light, and it's making me look like Violet from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, if you know that movie. So I've kind of turned a bit blue. I don't know why that is, and I'll have to try and sort that out in the future. But hello, I didn't want to let the lighting stop the 3 or 4 years that we've been live streaming for, and we haven't got a mic or a boom mic stand thing. We've just got a standard mic here on the floor, so it is really been thrown together before we went live. Hopefully it's going to work. What I have noticed is that because I'm now inside the house, it means that I can get a faster internet connection, but we are going through Wi-Fi because I haven't even done the wired connection because I didn't have time. So we'll see how it runs, and if I can now see on the screen that in the background it looks like the wall is bending because of the fisheye lens, but it doesn't bend at all. You might be able to see my amp all the way back there in the background, obviously the keys on the windowsill at the moment. So I've still got a lot to do in this room. I have moved everything out and I've got my desk in, but I've plugged everything in literally today and just rushing to get this live stream done, so it looks an absolute mess. I'm gonna have to reorganize and just get everything organized in this room, but hopefully, fingers crossed, you can hear me and you can see me, and we have managed to get this live stream going. Now, I am running the software as normal, so fingers crossed, it will still look like a normal live stream. Let's try some stuff out and get you guys up on screen. And it looks like that is working. I can see it moving. We have Chris and Vince and Billy and Neil and Susan and Dennis and Sue and Sam and Frank, Carl, Dwayne, Marta, Bev, and Karen in there as well. And Corey, hello. Thank you for joining me tonight on this experimental live stream. I'll have to ask somebody who knows about lighting. Maybe if you mix together yellow lights and white lights, then you get a blue or a purple together. I don't know anything about lighting apart from before we had just either yellow lights or white lights, but it was just the same light in the studio space, so it meant that I probably looked a little bit more normal. But anyway, I don't know how it's coming across on your screens. Maybe it's just my screen, but because I can see it through the software, it looks like it probably doesn't help that behind me is the white wall and the light in front of me is making me look a little bit violet. Anyway, we will continue with this live stream as we normally do. We're going to get my patrons up on screen because they make this possible, and all of these lovely people at the bottom of the screen, you know who you are, over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. That's where you will find them. And I'm just having a little look into that live chat room, and I went through too quickly. Somebody tagged me in something there, and I can see Tortoro Poker said you should buy an LED ring lamp as a key light for your face, Wings of Pegasus. Yes, so that's what I've got behind the camera. So there's a light, like white light, and it's not in a circle, it's in a square, but it does exactly the same thing. So that's what I've got in front of me. But obviously I've got the screen, which is giving off a lot of light, and that mixed with the yellow light of the room, there's lots of different lighting things going on. But I will have a little bit of an experiment with it. I'm just thinking I have got a filter that I could put in front of the light to make it match the other light, and then just see what it'll look like after that. I'm going to have to experiment with it. Of course, this is literally the first time that I've set it all up in this room, and if it's just looking funny from a lighting perspective and that's the only problem, then I will definitely take that. It will be a huge success. If that is what the case is going to be at, 1:15 in the morning. Fingers crossed if we keep going through that far, because we are going through Wi-Fi as well. It does seem, hopefully, to be quite fast at the moment, the connection. Fingers crossed, we will see. Anyway, let me just get everything up on screen that we need to have. We have the likes goal. Let's get the likes goal. 355. It's another huge goal for tonight. So if you guys could leave a thumbs up as you come through the room, that would be much appreciated, because it is a huge target. We hit the target on Tuesday, so the Tuesday crew are getting pretty good at hitting these targets. If you can hit a thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated, because it really does help this channel to grow and for these live streams to get out there a little bit more. Let's see where we are with our likes. 180 at the moment. So we have quite a good start, and I know that we did have some donations that came in before we went live, but just quickly before we get into naming the donations, just so you know, that 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and through PayPal between 3 and 5% goes to them, so you get a lay of the land and you don't have to donate, of course. Right, let me jump into this screen that disappears when we go live, but it was Paul who donated, I think, first of all, and this is a little bit earlier tonight, so I'm just having a little check. I think this is the first one. Anyway, Paul donated $2. It's usually either Paul or Orlando that are donating first, and the message was, spike the likes, Orlando's backup, hashtag Team Orlando. So thank you for that, Paul. And then Jennifer donated $5. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, has anyone asked to cover one of your songs? Whose was the hardest song to get that you have covered? And PayPal won't let me send you a question. So thank you for that. I don't know what it is with PayPal at the moment, whether that's, I don't know if they keep back some comments. I know that YouTube does, and I don't know how they decide which comments to hold back and which ones get through straight away. So I don't know if PayPal does a similar thing. I know that actually on YouTube, if you do too many emoticons, that is something that then YouTube doesn't allow that comment to go through. But thank you for that, Jennifer. And the hardest song that I've covered, I think I've answered this question before. It's not really a case of, you know, a song being really hard. It's not the way that songs work, that you've got one that is really easy and then they gradually go up in difficulty. You just listen to a song and then you just work it out and then you do your own version of it. The most difficult thing to get, I think, accurately was the Eruption cover that I did. So Eddie Van Halen's phrasing on that, I mean, his phrasing just in general was amazing and so difficult to try and emulate or get anywhere close. So yeah, I think that's probably up there, the Eruption cover. I'm trying to think of any other ones. Pretty much any Dokken because of George Lynch. And I think actually the Winger covers that I've done, I mean, that's Red Beach on lead guitar. And those were, I mean, relatively straightforward because I've worked at the techniques that Red Beach plays. So, I mean, just somebody trying to do a Winger solo probably would struggle a lot to do that. But the two songs that I did weren't necessarily that overly difficult, but Red Beach can really go crazy with the technical difficulty. But fortunately, yeah, it wasn't too technical. So, yeah, it doesn't really stand out to me as one being difficult. It's just different parts of songs that are more difficult to get down in isolation, like a little bit of a solo or a particular vocal or a particular rhythm or a groove, just tiny things within a song. So you don't have a whole song that's really difficult to do. And then once you've got that down, it's then a case of trying to get similar sounds to the original, so that sometimes you might have a keyboard sound that isn't anywhere close to what you want, so then you have to tweak it in, you know, Logic Pro 10 and try and use your ear to get these sounds as similar as possible. I know that Broken Wings was one of those that took me a little while to get the sounds, because I was just using Logic Pro 10 and just tweaking the sounds myself, so trying to find any way around simulating what they did with that particular track production wise, and it did have a lot of production on it. But anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. And Jennifer donated again $15. Thank you again for that. The message is, in honor of Naomi Judd, who passed away, hope you will do a vlog on them. If so, will you do Grandpa? Thanks. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And for mentioning that, the sad news that Naomi had passed away. We haven't actually got a video yet on Naomi, so that might be something that I can do next week once I've got everything in here set up and reliably just running, probably getting everything a little bit more organized, because I need to get my hard drives. I've got so many of those in a bag. I need to find which ones I need and which ones that I don't. So yeah, we'll probably get into that next week if you guys want to have a video on Naomi. But thank you, Jennifer, for that, for mentioning that. Right, let me just quickly jump into the we'll stay in the super chat window, because I think Orlando donated as soon as we went live, and Orlando donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, spike the likes if you have not already, with some thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. And let's have a plug of the mug as well, and there it is. Let's see how they get on. And there we have it. So if you want to get your hands on any of the Wings of Pegasus merchandise, click on the tray underneath this video, or click in the description below. If there's not a tray, in the description below there is a link to the spring.com store, so you can head over there. But thank you, Orlando, for that. And there's another donation from Orlando that was for $2 and says, happy birthday, Fred Zeppelin. So happy birthday to Fred. And thank you, Orlando, for mentioning that. And I'm trying to see if I can see Fred in that live chat room, but everybody say a happy birthday to Fred Zeppelin in that live chat room tonight. If this is your first live stream, welcome. You have chosen a bit of a random one to jump in as your first, because we are out of the studio and we are in a different room, as you can tell, and I've got lots of stuff to organize behind me. I've got to put up my guitars and try and just get all the leads that I need. And I mean, fingers crossed that this live stream goes through without a hitch, because that would be a very good start to then everything progressing in the future. But we will keep on pushing forward. We're going to be having a pick roulette tonight as well. Fingers crossed everything will run smoothly with that. Let me see if I can get this up on screen, because I think that has worked. We have now passed 256,000 subscribers, so thank you everyone for subscribing and hitting that notification bell and just commenting on the videos, liking the videos, all that kind of stuff. So yes, 256. We'll keep on pushing forward, as I always say. Right, let's get into, well, we'll keep in that super chat window, because Andrea has donated £2 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, do you have a favorite song to sing and play? So I'm trying to think. I'm not one of these people that just sits down and plays, or not at the moment because my arm, but sits down and plays, particular songs. I tend to just, mess around, and if I am doing a video on a particular artist, when I had my guitar before and I could play and I hadn't done my tendon in on my arm, I just used to listen to the song and then kind of work it out for the analysis video and just give a rough approximation of what was being played. So yeah, I don't tend to just keep on playing the same songs. And that even goes for the cover videos that I've done. For the cover videos, I just did those, they were requested. I just did those videos, just played it all and sung it all, and then just moved on to the next one. So yeah, there isn't a particular song that I just go back to. But I suppose when I was younger, I enjoyed playing Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix, but that's because I was huge Jimi Hendrix fan and listen to his music a lot, so I enjoyed playing that. But yes, apart from that, I don't really have a favourite song to sing and play. I just pretty much listen to everything, and I pretty much play rock, hard rock, blues, that kind of stuff. If we're talking about a preference for playing style, then that is what I do like to play. But, you know, from my teaching guitar, I do play fingerstyle as well, but that's really for teaching purposes. And for my analysis videos, just to go through any fingerstyle that is being played, just so I can demonstrate it. But I don't tend to do too many covers or anything like that fingerstyle. It's just something that I'm not particularly into doing a cover of. Having said that, I did more than words, so I'm just contradicting myself, because when I think of playing fingerstyle, I still forget that, oh yeah, actually there are quite a few songs that I do play fingerstyle, but I forget. Anyway, thank you for that, Andrea. And Thomas has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Thomas. And the message is, evening Phil, love a shout out to Brian Whittington. And I'd like to ask, if you had to cover one song, if your life depended on it, what would it be? So thank you for that. And if my life depended on doing, I don't know what my life would depend on, whether it had to be good or not. And if it wasn't very good, then my life would be forfeit. So if there was one that I had to do, I would just choose one of the songs that I've already done, because then I can just watch the video and just play it exactly the same as I did then. I'd have to have a little bit of a recap to see exactly, because sometimes I just shoehorn in a guitar solo, but I'll have to just check to see how I played it. And yeah, I'll just do one of the songs that I've already done. How about, actually, good little lead into the covers for tonight, because we've got Parisian Walkways and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. So you guys can vote for whichever of those two you want to hear on tonight's live stream. And I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, I mean, that's one of those that's, you know, pretty straightforward to play and relatively straightforward to sing as well. So if my life depended on it, let's go for that. So it looks like Parisian Walkways has 52% of the vote so far. So keep on voting, and Parisian Walkways has been, I think, up for the vote on the last, 4 or 5 live streams. So maybe tonight will be the night that we actually listen to Parisian Walkways. Anyway, let me move on. I'm just going to scroll down here to make sure that everything's up to date in that super chat window, and it is. So I am going to get into the PayPal donations window as well, because we have had some, and now the problem is my microphone, which is here, and you can't see it, it's behind, oh, you can just see the top of it here. I thought, actually, I've got away with that because it's behind the live chat room, and I thought it might be a little bit off-putting to have it on screen all the time. But what is off-putting about it is that I can't see the PayPal donations because I have to look around the microphone. So we will try and just busk our way through it and see if I can get to this. Okay, right. There was a donation from Michael, which was on Wednesday, and that was on Wednesday morning at 10 minutes past 10. So thank you for that, Michael. And it just says you've received a payment. So that is, yeah, that's the £10 donation from Michael. So thank you for that. And I'll tell you what, I'll remove this from the screen because I've had other emails that have come in, and I want to make sure that I'm just addressing the PayPal emails, or should I say the donation emails that I get. So let's jump into this one. And right, I'm going to get this up on screen, so just in case anybody can let me know what this says, because I don't speak this language, whatever is on the screen. So thank you so much for your £15.22 £15.22 donation, and I'll just show it up on the screen so we can see your name. So thank you very much. And it looks very fancy, like maybe Chinese or something like that. So I don't speak Chinese, so thank you so much for that donation. And let me get rid of this again because I have to. That last donation that was on, oh, it was Saturday at 12 minutes past 12. So it was today. So we're getting a little bit more up to date. Let me now find the next one. And the next one came in from Virginia. And this is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And it was a straight up donation for £11.42. So thank you for that, Virginia. And let me scroll up again. I think we might be getting more up to date now. So I'll put this on screen because we might be able to just load up one by one, because Jill has donated £3.81. Thank you for the thank you for the donation, Jill. That is a straight up donation, and I'm not sure whether the messages are coming through or not on PayPal, but we will see. But thank you for that, Jill. And let me just, there we go. Yeah, we've loaded another one. It's Tammy who has donated £20. So thank you for that, Tammy. And again, that seems to be, at least PayPal is saying it's a straight up donation. So thank you for that. And thank you, Steve, as well, for clarifying that it is Chinese. So that's just a lucky guess. I didn't know that it was Chinese, but thank you for clarifying that, Steve. Thank you, Tammy, for that donation. And just going to, oh, here's Steve again with a £5 donation. So thank you for that, Steve. And that looks like a straight up donation as well. And I think Steve usually writes a message on there. So it might be the case that we're missing out the messages on PayPal for tonight. We'll keep on having a look through and see if any of them get through, and whether it's just a problem with PayPal again. But William has donated £7.61. So thank you for that, William. And let me just scroll up again. Kevin has donated £25. Thank you, Kevin, for that donation. And the message is, we so enjoy your videos, Kathy and Kevin. So thank you for the donation, but the kind words as well. I'm glad that you enjoy the videos. As I always say, I will keep on making them as long as people are requesting them and enjoying them. So let me just scroll up because another one has come through, and here we go. And it's Richard Totoro Porco with a £3 donation. And the message is, you need some shrubbery for your room. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm not sure about bringing the in. I mean, my mum is one of those people that she brings everything inside. So yeah, in my parents' house, there's plants on the table, and my sister's got hay fever, which is a bit of a nightmare for her when she comes around and my mum's got, you know, flowers all over the place inside, because that's exactly what my sister's trying to escape from. But anyway, she gets a little bit overboard, I think, by having, you know, potted plants on windowsills and that kind of stuff, whereas I just prefer to keep the outdoors. And yeah, maybe, I mean, my mum has got some fake plants in the house, and they look very realistic, so that's one way of getting around it. But I think in this room it's just going to be musical equipment, and yeah, nothing. I mean, this is the other thing, that in some of the plants and the plant pots that my mum has, there's soil in there. So if you knock one of those over, you've got soil all over your carpet. And if it's just been watered, then that's going to be even worse. So yeah, I don't want to. The other carpet that's in the studio, I managed to keep that really nice and clean. And I've got a very similar carpet in this room, so I will be keeping this as clean as possible as well. Again, this is a totally no shoe zone. So just to keep everything really nice and clean. I've decided that I'm going to, and this is why I've probably just given myself loads of work to do. I've decided to put up some probably black curtains, something like that, to keep most of the light out. Sometimes when I'm doing something in here, such as a live stream or a video, and the lighting has to be consistent, unlike now, but it has to be consistent, it's good to have, you can see in the studio in the background that we had the black blinds that were sometimes sharp but then open when it was at night, as it is tonight here outside. Of course, it's almost midnight here in the UK, but I'm going to be attempting to hang again, getting the drill out and screwdrivers and you know, it could be a recipe for disaster, but I'm going to attempt to put up some curtains. So if you see some wonky curtains in the background, that'll be me doing those. Anyway, let's continue. We'll try and keep organised on tonight's live stream. Hopefully it's still working and you can see me. I'm just taking for granted that it's all working. And it looks like it must be, because we are at 298 likes. So that means we're looking for 57 more likes to reach that pick roulette target, which would be great if we could have another pick roulette next week. We're going to be having one tonight as well. But let me just get organised over here. It is Bonnie who has donated 23. Oh, we've got the 2345, £23 and 45 pence. So thank you for that, Bonnie. And there is a message with this. Let me have a little scroll down. Congratulations on the new setup with some rock horns. So thank you for that, Bonnie. And yeah, a quick update about as you guys know, your support is huge and allows me to do everything that I do with the analysis videos, the live streams, and just everything that you'll see on the channel. And one thing that I have done is upgrade my internet. I upgraded it before, but now I've upgraded it even more. So in the studio, I have a broadband, I mean, it's called PlusNet. You guys won't know unless you're in the UK, but it's a broadband internet that was really reliable, but it wasn't all that fast. Whereas now I've got fiber optic, and I got that 5 or 6 days ago. I'm trying to think of when every day is just blending into one at the moment with all of this stuff going on. But it was the 24th, I think, I upgraded to fiber optic broadband, which means that you get it, fiber optic cable directly to your house. And previously I was on about 7 to 8 megabytes upload speed, and now I'm at 50 megabytes upload. And for me, it's all about the upload speed, because of doing live streams, uploading videos to YouTube. That's what usually takes quite a long time, especially if my internet wasn't running particularly fast. But now I think even over Wi-Fi, I'm getting about 50 megabytes per second upload. Obviously, I'm uploading to a server when it does the test in the UK, so I'm not sure how quickly it goes to other countries in the world. But fingers crossed, if this live stream goes through without a hitch, considering the fact that I've literally thrown everything together, then it'll be a very good sign for not only the setup, but the internet, to know that even over Wi-Fi, it's fast enough to live stream for an hour plus and not have any issues. So I'm not sure how good the live stream is, whether it's flowing or whether it's having to load a lot, but it seems like at the moment I've just got green lights saying excellent connection. And even on my software, which is usually throwing me all kinds of warnings, it isn't doing that tonight. So it seems like it's having a better time through the software as well. Anyway, we will keep on pushing forward. So that's just something that I totally forgot to update everybody about, that I have upgraded my internet, which is good. So let me just scroll up, because Lynn has donated, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Lynn has donated £123.45. So thank you so much for that, Lynn. A very kind donation, and that is a straight up donation without a message. So thank you for that. And I'm just going to scroll up because another one's come in. This is from Suzanne, who has donated £5.32. Thank you for that, Suzanne. And the message is, Phil, like your new room, would you ever sing live on a live stream with a guitar and a smiley face? So thank you for that, Suzanne. And I don't know, I'd have to get the setup sorted, but it's, I'd have to do a lot of testing. I did a live stream gig many years ago. I say many years ago. It wasn't, I don't know how many years ago it was now. But anyway, I did a live stream gig, and that took a lot of organising, because I was organising it all myself. I'm not really into doing the open mic thing too much, with an acoustic and just singing, because my music's hard rock. So it means that I tend to want to use my electric guitar, have vocals and drums, bass, all that kind of stuff. and I haven't really experimented with the whole backing track thing, doing that on a live stream. So I don't know. I never say never, but at the moment I know it's going to take a lot of organisation for me to do that in the first place. And yeah, it would probably have to be set up as an event in the future, rather than just doing it on a live stream, because yeah, I'd have to try and work out an acoustic version of one of my songs and see if it's going to work in the live stream setting. It would probably take a lot of, trial and error, because setting up for the live stream, I've done this for about 3 or 4 years, so I know exactly what to click and which programs to open, where things should be. And yeah, if I was plugging in and effectively treating it like a gig, I'm not sure that I'd particularly want to just sit down with an acoustic guitar and sing, because it's I'm not really a singer or a folk artist, singer songwriter kind of artist in that vein. I like to have the full band sound, as you guys will know with my album. So I have done a couple of my songs that are like the ballads with an acoustic guitar, but even still with that, I recorded myself twice so that I could do my backing harmonies with myself. So again, something that wouldn't be possible to do live unless I recorded a backing track of myself, and then I'd have to run that whilst doing the stream live. So this is why it starts to get a bit complicated, because yeah, I haven't done the backing track live and messed about that setup, so it would take quite a lot of just setting up. But never say never. I might be able to do something in the future. You never know. And I mean, now that the studio space is more of a dedicated studio space, then it might be something for in there. But yeah, I'll have to have a think about it. Anyway, thank you for that, Suzanne. I think time as well, just having the time to do it. Yeah, that would be great. Just to find a spare second in any time during the day. But thank you, Suzanne, for that donation. Sue has donated £15 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. And that is a straight up donation without a message there. There's been another one that's come in from Susan, who has donated £25. So thank you for that, Susan. And this is just a straight up donation as well. So thank you for that. And we're just going to... Okay, Steve has donated £1. And thank you for that, Steve. The message is, trying again with the question, how do you deal with echoes and bad acoustics when playing live? So thank you for that, Steve. And this is something that, I mean, actually live, sometimes, depending on the venue, you can get resonant frequencies and just random resonant frequencies that sound different to what you're playing. Even though out at the front of the stage, everything sounds in tune, it sounds fine, but then there'll be particular ways that the sound waves interact with each other. And I've had this before where I've watched somebody's filmed one of my performances live with the band, and it sounds fine at the front of the stage, but I know that on stage live, my guitar sounded like it was out of tune, like by a semitone. And I thought, oh, what is going on here? And this is all while you're performing, singing, playing, but you just have to trust that. You tuned your guitar before you started, so just trust that it does sound fine and ignore what you're hearing. So that's how you have to, or how I deal with it, and it's how every musician has to deal with it. That just trust that your tuning before you went on is true, and you'll know that if you've tuned your guitar or not live before you go on, and that's what everyone should be doing, just to make double sure. Even if you've got a technician who does that for you, you've got sound people, I'd always double check my own guitar just to be safe, rather than leave it in somebody else's hands, unless you really trust your music tech. But thank you, Steve, for this question. And let me just make sure. Echoes. Yeah, I mean, echoes I don't think are too much of a problem just because of the fact that you've got your foldback speakers. I wear an in-ear monitoring system, so it means that I've got my voice quite loudly in my ears so that I can hear it, but I've also generally got a lot of guitars through choice and a lot of, you know, drums and bass in my foldback speakers, but it would mostly be my guitar, because that's what I want to hear. So in my ears I can hear my voice, and through the foldback I can hear my guitar. So as long as I can hear those two things, echoes that are happening are not at the same volume as what I can hear. So the loudest signal I'm getting is voice and guitars, and pretty much on stage it's only really resonant frequencies that have been the really off-putting thing. Echoes, you know, aren't too bad because you're playing at such a volume and you've got your foldback at such a volume that, yeah, the echoes are something that you hear probably out in the audience in the venue, especially if it's a big venue and it's not particularly good for sound waves. It might hit the back wall so that the people at the front of the stage hear not only what's been played, but they hear it coming off the back wall again behind them if it's a, you know, large venue. So, and that's the good thing about playing at a festival, is if you've just got an open field, then the sound will just go over everybody's head and you obviously don't get that echo because it's not bouncing off a wall and coming back. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. Right, we are going to try and keep organised for tonight, so let me have a look into that vote. Hopefully you can hear my voice and it's clear enough, because I'm not sure whether I have this microphone closer or whether it's the same distance just in this stand that I've got, because I haven't got the whole boom mic stand thing going on, but hopefully it's going to sound okay. And I think you guys might have mentioned it if it isn't, because we're 41 minutes into the live stream. Anyway, there have been more donations in that super chat window, so thank you guys for those. And let me just quickly pop into that PayPal donations window, because Mary has donated £2.56, and there's a message here. There's a winking face and a taco. I think that's how you say it. I think I said taco before, but now taco, I think in the UK we pronounce it differently to the USA, as in how it's written, because a lot of people have written to me saying it's pronounced in the USA TACO, which is taco here in the UK, but I think over in the USA that's taco is how people say it. Maybe I've got it wrong again, but that's just what I've deduced from what people have told me from over in the USA, and from Mary as well. So thank you for that. And Karen has donated £3.81. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, your mention of your room being a no shoe zone with black curtains sounded like inspiration for a song. It kept me from telling one of my lousy jokes while Chipper is whistling and singing away. Thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. Thank you for that, Karen. And we're going to have a quick preview to the pictures later on. We've got a couple of pictures of Chipper that have been sent in by Karen, so we'll see those. I think we've just got 3 pictures tonight, but yeah, we'll be jumping into those after the cover tonight, which is close. Parisian Walkways has 51% of the vote. Maybe I should call it to a close now, because I know a lot of people want, obviously, a lot of people want Parisian Walkways, but a lot of people want I Don't Want to Miss a Thing as well. So let's see where it ended up. And it was Parisian Walkways that got 51%, which will go through the live chat room in a second, so you'll get confirmation of that. But anyway, thank you, Karen, for that donation and the message. Let me just scroll up, because there is another one, and it's John, who has donated £38.05. So thank you for that, John, and that is a straight up donation. And here we have Totoro Porco again, and oh, it just says the donation is pending. So thank you for that previous donation. This is just a PayPal information email. And Maria has donated £1.52. So thank you for that, Maria. And let me just scroll up again, because we have another donation from Marge, who has donated £1.52. Thank you for that. The message is, trying to figure out what strings to buy for my electric guitar. Do they have to be expensive to be good? Thanks for your input, with a smiley face. So thank you for that question. And they don't necessarily have to be expensive to be good. I just, on my electric guitars, use Ernie Ball strings. So that's my go-to. And I use Ernie Ball Super Slinkies mostly. And those are 9s if you're looking for the pink packet. That's what I use on my guitar. But it depends for your playing style and how you, if you're just starting to play, then you'll maybe want to go for lighter strings. You can get, I'm not sure what they're called. You've got Super Slinky. There's the Ernie Ball strings Extra Slinky, they might be called that, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. But look out for, it's almost like a bright blue coloured packet. So those are the lighter strings than the pink packet. So if you can see that blue packet, and I think it is Extra Slinky is what they're called. So I would go for those to make it easier on your fingers. You want to try and make playing as easy as possible. There's no point in, stringing your guitar with really heavy strings, especially if you're learning to play. But then even still, I saw this article, I don't know what it was on, but it was on a guitar website, and they put out, and this is the most ridiculous thing ever, they put out as to how long you've been playing, which strings you should use. So they said, like, if you've been playing for 1 year, you use 8 gauge strings. For 2 years, you use 9 gauge, and then the next, you went 10, 11, 12, and they're getting heavier and heavier. And heavy strings aren't to be used depending on how long you've played. You've got guys like B.B. King, who I think played the equivalent of probably what would be 8s, maybe 7s for his whole career. So he's not changing his strings as he goes along throughout his career, getting heavier and heavier. It's just what you find easiest to play with or what suit you're playing. So anyway, I know that I'm changing the subject a little bit, but I would say that, Marge, go for lighter strings on your electric guitar. Just, if anything, make playing more enjoyable. You want to enjoy it. You don't want to be hurting your fingers all the time because your strings are too heavy. But anyway, thank you for that, Marge. And yes, so Ernie Ball Extra Slinky in the blue packet. Just look out for the bright blue packet, and those will be the ones that you want to go for. Anyway, Alison has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Alison. And the message is, hello Phil, if you could chat with any of your favourite music artists, who would it be? Cheers. So thank you for that, Alison. And I'm not sure, I'd have to have a think about this for quite a while, but I have been lucky in that I've spoken with Phil Palmer on the channel, Frank Marino as well. I mean, Frank is just one of those guys that when you look at his playing, and especially, given the fact that now, sadly, he's having some issues and he isn't allowed to play live, isn't allowed or isn't able to play his guitar. So when you look back at Frank's playing and his Astoria Blu-ray DVD box set, it's just his playing on that, it's just on a totally different level. So having spoken to him, on the channel is great. And yeah, I've spoken to quite a lot of people on the channel here. Buck Dharma as well from Blue Oyster Cult. So I'm very lucky in that I've spoken to a lot of artists that are June Millington as well. A lot of artists that I would just like to chat to. So I've been very lucky, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be able to do more of those in the future as well. Obviously, with everything here in the studio, setting everything up, or in this room, I know that I call the other room the studio because it is more of a studio setup, but I am turning this really into a mini indoor studio, more for just the things that I do on YouTube and live streams like this. So I'm hoping that in the future I can do more interviews and do them from this space. So the studio setup would be more for in-person interviews if things go along that particular road in the future. Who knows? But anyway, thank you for this, Alison, for that donation and the question. And just scrolling up because Melinda has donated £25. Thank you for that, Melinda. And the message is, congratulations on 256,000 subscribers. So thank you for that. And Carla has donated £5.39. and that is a straight up donation, so thank you for that, Carla. I am going to be jumping into tonight's cover as voted for by you guys, Parisian Walkways. Finally, we did get there. We've been spending a few weeks trying to watch this one, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And then we'll get into the pictures, into the pick roulette, and I'll also address the donations, as I can see that there are a few in that super chat window. So thank you for those. I'll see you guys after this. Rock. Looking back at the photographs, those summer days spent outside corner cafes. Ooh, I could write you paragraphs about my old Parisian days. And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, my version of Parisian Walkways played on a Fender. So it wasn't particularly authentic to Gary's amazing playing on that, but trying to get the sustain out of the Fender was a bit of mission as well, because it just tended to die quite a lot. So a lot of people ask about the note that I hold for a long time there, and that's feedback. So it's not using a sustain pedal or anything like that. It's just getting the angle right to the guitar amp, having it amp up nice and loud, and just getting that position, something that Gary used to do live. Just in sound checks, you walk around, find the right position to get the feedback, to start that feedback loop, and then you can hold it. I saw somebody said that Gary held it for 3 minutes. You can hold it for as long as you want, because a feedback loop is just that. It loops for as long as you want it to go on for. So anyway, thank you guys for voting for that one and requesting it over on patreon.com. /Wings of Pegasus. Let me give a quick plug to the Patreon site there, the foundation of everything that I do. If I wasn't here on YouTube, I'd be over there doing the videos as I do, on YouTube, but it would just be hosted on patreon.com. So thank you guys for all of your support. If you want to get involved yourselves, just head over there. Right, let's get rid of that on the screen. And I know that we've had some donations, which I might address at the end to give you guys a bit of time to enter in for the pick roulette, because we have hit our likes goal. We're actually at 387, but you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. If you're watching this in the future on catch up, then you can still hit the thumbs up. It really does help this channel to grow and for these live streams to get out there a little bit more. So 387 and counting. Right, let's get into the pictures, which we have a few of to look through. I've already given a bit of a preview saying that we're going to be looking at Chipper, and let me see if I can find the first one. Here it is. So here's Chipper in front of the Wings of Pegasus mugs, and a flower there, it looks like, but it doesn't look like a real flower, a very colourful flower in the background. So thank you for uploading that one, Karen. And we have this one as well, where Chipper's facing the other direction. So thank you for that. And if I do that, it looks like Chipper's doing a dance. Oh, and the flower moves as well from one side to the next. So there we go. That's, I don't know why I'm doing that. Oh, can I see a guitar neck there somewhere? I'm trying to make out what that is. Is that in the mug? It's too small on my screen, but it looks like there's a headstock and a guitar in the background, which I totally didn't spot on the other picture. But anyway, thank you for that, Karen. And let me now try and get this organized so that I can get Bob up on screen, and there he is. And Bob is showing off his 2 signed Wings of Pegasus picks. So Bob, a very lucky guy to have 2 of those. The only way that you can win the signed Wings of Pegasus pick is by winning them in the pick roulette. So congratulations to the double winner, Bob, and thank you for uploading that picture, Bob. Right, let me just give a quick plug of the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. If you want to join in over there, just type in that search bar on, if you are a Facebook user, Wings of Pegasus supporters group. You can join in there, upload your pictures, and then I can show them on the live streams in the future. But that's how the pictures come to me, and I get linked to them by Vince and Carla. So thank you guys for doing that. Right, let's try to keep things organized, and I might just jump into that PayPal window. We got as far as Carla donating £5.39, so thank you for that, Carla. And James donated £2 as well, so thank you for that, James. And I'm just going to scroll down so you guys can see that on screen as well. So right, we're up to date there. Right, let me try and have a quick look into that super chat window just to get things up to date a little bit, and then we'll get into the pick roulette. So let me just scroll up, make sure I don't miss any of these. Right, Shay donated $5. Thank you for that, Shay. And the message is, can't stay, just dropped by for my weekly dose of that amazing smile. Thank you. So thank you for that. It's a little bit of, I guess, a purple blue kind of smile tonight, but thank you, Shay, for that. Andrea has donated £5. Thank you for that again. The message is, hi Phil, How do you grapple with rock music enforcing sexism, homophobia, etc.? Do you think the music industry plays a role in enforcing oppression? So thank you for that. And this is probably one of the main reasons why I want to stay outside of the music industry as much as possible, so that I can just have my music, my albums, sell it through my website, and if people like it, great, and if they don't, then they don't have to buy it. But I'm not promoting myself all over the place on TV and basically forcing myself on people. And I think pretty much with the music industry, there's so much, advertising, and I mean, at the moment, I'd say that the current music industry, back in the day, if an artist showed any little amount of flesh, then it would make headlines. Whereas now, it's like the pop stars, I mean, they've shown all their flesh. It's like there's nothing left to hide. And yeah, I'm not really into the current industry with, I mean, it's up to them how they want to do it. It's absolutely fine. It's their own music, their own image, their own artistry. At the end of the day, however they want to promote themselves or display themselves. But for me, I like it when it's about the music first, and then you put on a show that doesn't detract from the music. So, for example, in the 80s, like hard rock bands that I'm into, you'll have a great stage show, but the music is the most important thing. So you might have guys putting on a show, hitting a lead guitar pose, but their lead guitar playing is still really accurate, and you get a great overall sound of the song. And I mean, nowadays it's more about, wearing revealing clothing in, particular, watching award shows, for example. I can't remember what it was. It might have been the MTV Music Awards that I just caught a maybe 5-minute segment of, but it was basically, it looked like a strip show on the stage. So yeah, I'm not really into that side of things. I just like to check out performances that are musically the music is integral to the performance, rather than having backing music going on. Especially, you've literally actually got backing music nowadays for most performances, so it's not an artist playing and singing live, but it is very much that what they're wearing is the focus, and oh, look how shocking it is, rather than the music being the thing that you're focusing on. So yeah. Anyway, and we've said before on the channel about, unfortunately, how auto-tune is making, and pitch correction is making, every artist, especially in the mainstream charts here in the UK, sound the same. So it just sounds like it's a remix of somebody else's song, but no, it's a different artist, but they're all starting to sound very similar. But yeah, in terms of those kinds of things, and I don't know, enforcing oppression, it's a hot topic. I'm not going to kind of elaborate too much on it here, but I'm a firm believer that, you can look into lots of information on the internet, you can make your own decisions and find out the background behind lots of different things, and just to take everything at face value and then make your own opinion of what you think about all of the information that you've taken in. But yeah, I don't think really, you've got to analyze it all yourself, and if people think that oppression is happening, then that's that person's opinion. But I think we can all do so much individually. There's so much that we can all get together and do, and nothing will ever stop that. There's no laws in the world that only, well, not here in the UK, and I don't think over in the USA either. There's no laws that stop you because you're a certain religion, or I know that in some countries, unfortunately, that does happen, where women are not allowed to get an education and all that kind of stuff that I've seen on the news, unfortunately. But in the more kind of civilized countries, I don't think there's any laws that stop you from doing anything, and you've got the freedom to protest. And I think we've got so much that we can achieve together. that would rule out everything, and discrimination as well, which is a huge part of the world, unfortunately. But not just discrimination about one thing, just collectively. How I've said before, going back to school days, you'll be discriminated against for your height, like I was. So you won't get picked for a football team. But that was my height. And you'll get other people who are discriminated against because they are disabled. When people are old, you get discriminated against. The colour of your skin. There are so many things that discrimination can be used to describe. But I think we've just got to, try and understand that happens in the world, and that a lot of people will do that. But hopefully we're moving forward where everybody is accepted for who they are and what they are, and it doesn't matter. We're all just human beings. We should all be getting along, and there's so much that we can achieve together. But anyway, let's not turn this into some kind of, I don't know, a speech or a government. This is the kind of thing that they say about, let's all pull together. The government say that, and then they get in power, and then they divide everyone. So let's not start getting into all that politics kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you for that donation. And I'm just going to make sure that I don't miss any, but thank you for that, Andrea. Stardust Unicorn, support band to Wings of Pegasus, has donated £5. Thank you for that. And Bixby 9797 has donated $10. Thank you for that. And the message is, best videos on the tube to explain what musicians are doing for us non-musical guys and gals. So thank you for that. Orlando has donated $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. Again, the message is, what piece of equipment did you use to get that distinct high-pitched sound on Parisian walkways? So this was just straight into my Line 6 HD150. That's the Spider 3 HD150 amplifier. Turned up quite loud, and I just used, I'm not sure what it was. It might have been the metal setting, because it has crunch, metal, and then insane. But I tend to take the metal, which is these are just ways for them to describe distortion. So the further you get to insane, the more distorted it is. But I had between crunch and metal is what I did. I just dialed it in on the amp, and it's the same tone pretty much that I used on my album, and everything that I do when I go to a distorted sound, it's all stored in their head. In that, actually, when I say, it's my Line 6, you can see it there in the background, and there's the cab. So that's the amp that I use, just turned up loud. And I most likely used my bridge pickup on my Fender Strat, which I put in there as a Seymour Duncan dual blade pickup. So that's probably what I used for that. But anyway, Orlando, thank you for that. And the message is there's another donation with another message from Orlando, so thank you again. The message is, just so you know, I'm not asking about the extended note, but the distinct high-pitched sound at the beginning and during the course of the song. So that's just the tone, and the amp being mic'd up by maybe this mic, or it might have been the Rode NT1A that I used on that particular cover. But there's also a little bit of a pinched harmonics going on, so that might be what you're picking up on in that particular cover, where I'll do a bend and it'll have maybe 10 to 20% of pinched harmonic in there that I've thrown in now and again. And on my Fender Strat, I do get a little bit of a harmonic where it just catches the fret sometimes when I do my 15th fret bend on the high E, and that's going, in that, tone bend. I think you got to play guitar to know what I'm talking about, but the 15th fret of your B string, bending up a tone will take you to the E. So that's what I'm bending up to, and it sometimes gets a little bit of a harmonic on that bend naturally just by striking or just touching ever so slightly the fret of my guitar. And it's just one of those things that happens on my Fender Strat, similar to what Phil Palmer was talking about, where he said that his guitar, his Nocaster guitar that he has, really did shape the way that he learned to play and the way that he does play, because it does things that other guitars don't do, and he can get sounds like I got on my Fender Strat. Just little things pop out, and you can get these sounds just pop out and they happen and they think, oh, that was quite cool. So then you can use it as and when you want to. But anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. Right, we are going to be jumping into the pick roulette because things are moving on. We are we've got about 5 minutes left of the live stream. So we might stretch it out maybe for a few more minutes to see if we can maintain this going not all night, but all the way to maybe 1:15, 1:20. That would be a good test of the Wi-Fi in here. Right, let me jump into the pick roulette. I'll see you guys in a second. By the way, Kevin has sacrificed himself. Kevin Cox has sacrificed himself as the top tip for tonight. So we'll look out for Kevin's name on the wheel. But I'll see you guys in a second. And let's click it and hope that it works. Rock. Okay, there we go. It has appeared on my screen, which is excellent. Right, I don't think I'm going to be able to pick out Kevin's name, not only because there are a lot of names, but it is very small on my screen. If you haven't seen one of these before, the darkest segments here are the t-shirts, and if we land on one of those, then we'll have a t-shirt roulette and somebody wins a t-shirt. And if we land on one of those first, then we'll have another spin of this pick roulette wheel in order for somebody to win the pick tonight. But let's give it a spin and see who is going to win. I didn't actually see Kevin's name on the wheel. It'll be on there somewhere. But hopefully the first time we see Kevin's name is when we land on his name. But everyone's got an equal chance. Some people have won twice, which is just ridiculously lucky. But we are going around. We are slowing down. Looking out for Kevin's name. Can't spot it. But oh yeah, I've just seen it. It's a little bit further on. Pretty close, but it's going to be maybe David. Or is he going to get as far as Kathy? And it is David who is the winner tonight. So congratulations to you, David. If you could let yourself be known to Carly in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated so that she can get everything organised for sending that pick to you. So congratulations to David, commiserations to everybody else tonight on that wheel. But as I always say, if you want to double your chances of winning, then you can enter on Tuesday nights as well, because we do have a pick roulette that we do on Tuesday nights whenever we hit the likes goal the week before. So this is how the pick roulette wheel works. We always do it the week after we've hit the total. So if you enter tonight, then your name will be on the wheel next Saturday. And I'm liking this little change of colour that we've got on the top here, which I'm sure is Carla's handiwork. So thank you for making that colour coordinated. It almost goes with the picture in the background behind that pick roulette wheel. But anyway, congratulations, David. Commiserations to everybody else. But we'll be having another pick roulette next week, so never fear. Right, and back to me now. The entries are open for next week's pick roulette. So, in order to get your name on the wheel next week, this is what we do. We type at Carla. Actually, we type I agree first. So let me do that. I agree. And then at Carla Murray. Tag Carla in the comment. And then I'll just give that example. So you guys will see my comment going through the live chat room soon. Sue? Who's Sue? But, I mean, Susan and Dennis are just about to go through the live chat room, so that's a very good excuse. But it'll be going through soon, and it's already just gone through. But copy what everybody else is doing in the live chat room. If this is your first live stream, then you can just follow what everyone else is doing, and then your name will be on the wheel next week. And you have to be in it to win it, which means that you have to be watching when we do the spinning of the wheel. And if we land on your name, you need to message Carla so that she can get details from you to get the pick sent off to you. So make sure you are in the live chat room when the pick roulette is happening. So make sure you are in there. And I hope, David, you are in there and you have let. And I've just seen David just popping into the live chat room. Tonight I proved out that this thing actually does work. So thank you for that, David. And this must be not in direct reaction to winning the pick roulette, but again, well done, David. So we're going to now, or maybe we'll get into the donations just quickly so that you guys have some time to enter in for next week's Pick Roulette. Roxanne has donated £7.61. Thank you for that, Roxanne. This is in the PayPal donations window, and the message is to support independent voices in music. So thank you for that. And let me just try and keep organized here. It was Orlando that donated $2 and said, "You continue to educate. Thank you, mate." So no problem. Thank you for tuning in. Just everybody, but Orlando as well, who is, again, one of the pieces of these live streams. I mean, these live streams have many pieces. I mean, everybody that tunes in regularly, we get to know each other, which is great. And if you are new to the live streams, you just introduce yourself, and then we all get to know each other and know each other's usernames. And Orlando, we've seen in the pictures as well. So we get to see you guys on screen as well during these live streams, which always makes it, I think, a lot more interesting than just looking at me the whole time. But I think we're up to date with the donations. I'm just thinking what we should do, just maybe to give it a little bit more time, because there's still some I agrees going through. So let me have a little scroll down the Patreon page to see. I'm just gonna have to scroll up. Actually, let me try and get into the right screen. Here we are. Right, I'm now going to try and read through. There are a lot of comments over on the Patreon page for tonight's live stream. So let me have a little look through as to what we've got. We've got a Phil tune at the library. We've got maybe Riff of the Week, which we might be able to jump into. And I mean, the Riff of the Week is going to be quite quick. So we'll jump into Riff of the Week. We'll just have a little bit of a look at that. Right, so in the live chat room, this is where I ask you guys just to name a number between 1 and 100, and we will have a listen to a random riff of the week, and then we can see who is going to guess it. It's just, you don't win anything, it's just for fun. So I'm going to make sure I can actually access the riffs on my YouTube account, and I think I've got them here. Right, so I'm looking out for some numbers, and Bonnie says 66, September 17th says 99, and here we go. We've got some numbers coming through now, and they're going through a little bit more quickly. And we've got 2, 28, 57, 74, 71. I tell you what, let's go for 71. So that was Melinda's suggestion. I think, yeah, just going through now. 71, right. Let me try and find number 71. It's going to be on the next page, typically. And here we go. Right, I'm going to click on it. And sometimes, I mean, I've got to click on, first of all, the edit page, which I don't need, but then click on the actual video. And last time it started playing automatically. And, okay, let me mute this so you guys don't have to watch the advert that goes with it, because I'm obviously playing somebody else's riff. So they've even put adverts on these. Right, I can see that it is a beginner one. And hopefully if I click on the screen, we should be able to get it down here, and there it is. So everybody have a listen to this, and I'll be looking for the named riff in the live chat room to see who gets it first. And that's if I even remember what the riff is myself, because there's so many of them, I've probably forgotten most of them. But let's have a listen to this and see what it is. Okay, and there we go. I think Kevin said Voodoo Child before I even started playing. Yeah, oh, there it is. Yeah, Kevin's just going through there. So, congratulations to Kevin. I don't know whether Kevin actually knew that this number 71 was Voodoo Child or not. But, yes, that was a really easy one for tonight. And yeah, a little bit of a fun one to play through. You might have heard me doing the open to closed hi-hat that Mitch Mitchell does on drums during the intro, and it sounded nothing like, obviously, nothing like a hi-hat. That was me just being a bit silly. But anyway, yeah, congratulations, Kevin. You were the top tip for tonight, but you didn't win the pig roulette, but at least we have Kevin winning, being the first person to name that particular riff. Right, let me get rid of that from the screen. So, oh, Corey said I said it first. So maybe it was Corey and not Kevin. Let me just have a little scroll up here. We had the numbers being asked for here, so it's got to be after this. Let me just have a little scroll down. And... oh yeah, there's Corey saying Voodoo Child. Oh, Jen actually said Voodoo Child first. So I was giving the prize to Kevin, but it's actually Jen that got it first. So congratulations to Jen. And yeah, you don't win anything, but Jen is now officially the first person to have got it. And yeah, always good to have a little check through to make sure the result is official and we get it correct. So thank you everyone for joining me on tonight's live stream. I think we're going to be calling it to a close now because it's 1:20 here in the morning. I've got loads of stuff to do. There is going to be another video tomorrow night, but the video that I did that I'm going to do tomorrow night, or I'm going to upload tomorrow night, is a video that I did a few days ago because I knew that I might not have everything set up correctly for the analysis videos. So the background will be the studio, the outside studio, but the next one that I do next Wednesday will be in here. And yeah, so look out for that video tomorrow night. That is going to be an analysis video from the studio. But I'm going to be live streaming on Tuesday night again, so you can look out for that, and hopefully you can join me. We have been hitting these likes goals, so thank you so much for hitting that thumbs up, subscribing to the channel as well, and hitting that notification bell. I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and I can scarcely believe that this whole live stream has gone through as well as it has done, but it's a good sign for the future in here, the fact that I can actually run it over Wi-Fi, and it can be actually, it looks like, yeah, about 5 megabits per second, which, or 5 megabytes per second, that probably means. I know that megabits per second and megabytes per second are different, but yeah, it seems like we're getting, yeah, quite a fast upload speed. Probably if it's about 50 megabits per second upload speed, that would work out as around 5 megabytes per second. Anyway, let's not get too technical. Just the fact is it runs fine over Wi-Fi, which is great for me to know, just in case my wired connection can't get in here for any particular reason. So anyway, have a great rest of the weekend, and I hope to see you on Tuesday night. I'll see you tomorrow night at the analysis video. Everyone stay safe, stay sane, wherever possible. And thank you as well for all of the very kind donations and your support. You guys over on Patreon, you know who you are. I'll catch you guys tomorrow night at the analysis video. So I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!